Can you recognize your shame? Let's talk about what does shame feel like in the body. Believe it or not, I've had clients try to hide under the couch in my office during a therapy session. And I'm going to tell you why. What is the function of shame? I mean, why do we have it? You'll probably be really surprised that shame actually isn't a bad thing. We're going to talk about that. Believe it or not, I actually feel shame all the time too. And I'm going to give you an example of a time in my life when the shame was beaten down on me. So stay tuned. I had a really bad parenting moment. My daughter, she was like 3 years old, and she was not listening to anything that I was saying. Anything. And I was trying not to power struggle with her. I was trying to be the perfect therapist who knows how to raise perfect kids. It just wasn't working. I happened to have a lunch appointment with a friend that day, and my daughter was coming. And I told her, I said, look, if you don't change some things, then you're going to have to sit in the car while I go to lunch. And so sure enough, she kept acting up, and I parked right outside the window where I could see her, and she was sitting in the car. It was a really crowded restaurant. I was eating my burger. I heard over the intercom, who's driving a silver SUV? And I kind of raised my hand, and they said, well, there's a child locked in your car. And I looked around, and the entire restaurant, everybody looked at me. I was already feeling like a bad dad. And now everybody could see that I was struggling as a dad. That's a shame trigger. I'm feeling like a bad dad. Other people are viewing me that way, or at least so I thought. And I noticed several things happen to me. I got flushed. My skin turned red. My heartbeat increased. I got tension in my jaw and in my fists. And I started to have thoughts. Not so nice of thoughts. I walked past the intercom where they announced that my daughter was in the car locked up. And I heard the chef say, who would do that to a child? So I felt judged, and I felt like I wanted to just pack up and leave and not stay at the restaurant. So notice what I'm saying. Notice the symptoms of shame. Tension, increased heartbeat, flushing in my face, thoughts about wanting to leave and escape and run away. All these are indicators that I'm feeling shame. I want to tell you about how clients try to hide under my couch. When I meet with them, especially if I meet with them as a couple, shame gets triggered. They feel not enough. They feel broken. And their demeanor changes. They hunch down. They don't look people in the eye. And they start to look away, and almost seems like they want to hide under my couch, that they don't want to be there. The part of their brain that is triggered into shame is saying, get out of here. This is not okay. And so that is an indicator of shame. When you start to have these symptoms, stop for a moment and just recognize, this is shame. This is what I'm feeling right now. Then you can start to act against that shame. Shame makes you feel all alone. It makes you feel like you're the only one. There's a big difference between shame and embarrassment. When you're embarrassed, you kind of laugh it off and you realize other people have made a similar mistake. When you're in shame, you feel like you're the only one. You get this tunnel vision where you feel like people are seeing the blemish that you want nobody else to see. Shame's way different than humiliation. Humiliation is feeling like somebody's doing something to you, like they're mean. Where shame, you feel like, I am bad. There's something wrong with me. It's not like they're doing something to me. I feel like I'm flawed when I have shame. And for that reason, I'll do anything to not feel that feeling anymore. Understanding what shame does to your body is really important, because the way out of your shame is to act against it. The way you can act against your shame is by being mindful that you're feeling it. So once you feel it, then you can go and be vulnerable and act against it and start to kill that shame spiral. I'm curious if you've ever had an experience of shame like I had in that restaurant. Share it below. We know one thing about shame is it goes away when you start to connect with other people on it. So share your shameful experiences, and hopefully it will help you kill some of your shame. There's a correlation between shame and low self-worth. The lower self-worth you have, the more faulty core beliefs you have, the more you're going to be triggered into your shame. So go check out my video, How Do I Get My Self-Worth Back?